to thee, my lords and ladies. Now, as you may or may not know, depending on what order I'm posting these in, I have a great fondness for the Texas Renaissance Festival. I've been going there ever since I was a little bitty, and I've been dressing up in costumes every single year. Now, the past couple years, my boyfriend has started coming with me as well. Sorry about that. Sunshine does what it wants. The past couple years, my boyfriend's been coming as well, and he's been wanting to do a barbarian costume. Now, he's attempted a couple times, but no offense, but he's not really the best with costumes. So, I've decided that I'm going to surprise him with a barbarian costume. I'm super excited to be able to give it to him. Now, I've been working on this. I do things out of order, so I'm actually filming the intro now about, oh, here we go again, 3 to 4 months since I've been working on it. It's because I actually started this closer to Easter. Yes, I'm so excited to be able to give it to him. So, the project's coming along great so far, so, natural light, unpredictable. So, let's get into it. Crafting time! The shirt that I'm using right here is a 100% cotton white shirt that I picked up from, I think, Hobby Lobby. You can use whatever color you want, or you can dye it. Basically what I'm doing is I'm marking down the center line of where I want the opening to be. See, a barbarian shirt isn't going to have a nice trimmed collar, sleeve line, and waist, so I went ahead and just cut those off. From here, I folded the shirt in half and then cut down that center line, creating my opening, which would be perfectly even on both sides, front and back. Once my shirt was cut, I laid a piece of tissue paper down and then proceeded to trace the outline of the shirt onto the paper. The cotton t-shirt is going to be very flimsy and it won't hold a closure very well, especially once I put holes in it. So to avoid that problem, I'm making an additional piece to sew on to the shirt to make the material stiffer and more likely not to tear. Now, my tissue paper wasn't big enough for the shirt size that I'm working with, so to fix that problem, I simply took a ruler, traced out the bottom to make it even and straight, and then pieced in a bit more tissue paper to get that extra seam allowance that I needed. Now, the white shirt was way too white for the look that I'm going for. So to fix that, I simply boiled a pot of coffee and then dumped the shirt in, stirring it in and letting it sit for about 20 minutes. It didn't come out as dark as I wanted it to, so I ended up using a Ritz dye and turned it black instead later. But after this, I simply took the pattern that I just recently made and then started cutting out the material that's going to make this shirt a little bit thicker. After cutting out the pieces and making sure that they were the same, I folded over a small piece of the edge to create a hem, which I then ran through a sewing machine. After that, I took some fabric glue and glued it down to the shirt, trying my best to make sure that I laid the pieces down evenly. I did miss a little bit, but it's kind of hard to tell. Though the fabric glue that I used did make some of the black fabric turn an almost bluish shade. I'm not sure why. Perhaps I'll try a different brand next time. Alright, once the glue had finally fully dried, I went ahead and took a needle and thread and stitched around the outside of the fabric. My boyfriend can be a little rough on clothing sometimes, and I wanted to make sure that this actually stayed through whatever he could put it through. Now, to add a little bit of extra flair to the outfit, and also to make it a bit practical, I went ahead and used a ruler and some chalk. You can get tailor's chalk. The set that I have doesn't work. It never has. I don't really know why. So I'm just using some sidewalk chalk. It washes out just fine. But I'm using that against the ruler's edge to create a straight line, which I'm going to be taking a grommet to, or the hole punch first, and then setting grommets in. That way I can lace it up at the shoulders and down the sides. This will allow the shirt to be completely adjustable, and it'll add a factor of coolness to it as well. I don't get it. So, I'm gonna have to come up with a different plan. I don't understand because this worked perfectly fine the last 4 or 5 times I used it. On a scrap piece of fabric I just tried, it worked. So my only thought, it is not going through because of the fabric glue? That doesn't make any sense. found the answer to my problem. Either I don't know why it was causing it. I don't know if it's the reason. If you know, let me know, because I would love to know. My cat found the pencil. She's really cute. Okay, so when I put it on this, it wouldn't go through. It was either too hard, or I think it was too hard, because it wouldn't work on the carpet, it wouldn't work on the thing, it wouldn't work on the table, and by the thing, I mean the floor. But I put it on my foam square, like the ones that I have in my room on my floor that you may or may not know that I have them, that I do. And that worked. I'm punching holes through it, but, you know, it's fine, because this is my bad one that I accidentally, you know, melted a little bit. But we don't talk about that. So, they're not the prettiest holes in the world, but it works. I don't know why it works, but it does. But that's fine. So, but it won't go through 2 layers at the same time like I was hoping to. Just pin them together, smack, smack, smack. Have my holes perfectly even, because I can't do anything evenly. Never have been able to. So, what I'm doing instead is I'm going 1 layer at a time, and then I'm marking where my holes are roughly with my pencil that my cat just stole. I was using that. I need that back. But here, look, they're cute. Anyways, so I'm marking the holes, that way I have them roughly lined up. It would have been so much easier if I could do it the other way, but I don't know why it doesn't work. So if you happen to know why that doesn't work, let me know, because it's kind of annoying. Did you put that underneath the chair? You did, didn't you? I need that back. Excuse me. Thank you. So, let's get on with it. I'll be right back. I'm going to play with my cats. Took forever, but that's okay, because it's done now. Now I just gotta put the grommets in. Woo! I love this stuff, but sometimes my fingers are just sore. Okay, so real quick, I have the super fun little tool that allows me to do both snaps and grommets. However, that thing was on there so tight, I had to go hunt down one of those little grippy hand thingies to get the thing off. Anyways, this thing is super easy to use. Pretty much you put the grommet in, you line up the holes, and then you smush it. It's great. Love this thing. Although it does take a little bit of practice to get the thing and how hard you want to smush it exactly right. So if you're trying this for the first time, I do suggest you punch a couple holes in something that doesn't matter, and then you give it a couple practice goes. So, I've just done some math, and assuming my math is correct, which I'm not entirely sure it is, but it feels about right, I'm actually about 24 of these short. Even if I'm combining, sorry about the close-up, even if I'm using black and silver, which I was planning on originally doing anyways, because I knew I didn't have enough black. So, I've got 9 of the silvers and 13 of the black ones. And in total, I need 46. So I'm missing about 24, assuming I did my math right. So, here's my thought. I'm going to finish as much as I can with these. I'm going to order some more, and then I'll go ahead and move on to the next steps until my next set of grommets can get here. That's the new plan. Okay, so I finally finished all the grommets on the shirt. It took forever because I, for the life of me, could not find the right size in the right color. I probably ordered 3 or 4 different ones. And I still couldn't find the right size. But these were a little bit too big, and I figured I may as well go ahead and use them because I want to get this thing done. So let me show you what we're working with here, because I went ahead and put all those in off camera. Okay, so these are the ones that I was doing before. You can see they're all the same size. This top row here. Then we've got this side, which is obviously bigger, drastically, but the other ones were way too small or the completely different color. So this is kind of what we have to work with. Unfortunate, but it is what it is, unfortunately. I don't know why I couldn't find the right size in the right color, but I couldn't. It was too hard to measure, too hard to tell. So basically all I need to do left on the shirt is put some cording through it. And for that, I'm just going to use this belt that I had made prior. I'm just going to take it apart. I wasn't super happy with the belt in the first place. So yeah, I'm just going to take it apart and then use this leather cording on that, and then that'll be pretty much done. But first, I need more coffee. Coffee achieved. Now I can take this thing apart. By the way, so sorry about the light going in and out like that. I'm using the light from my window, and it was a cloudy day. Well, a cloudy day with periodic sun. So, yeah. Apologies. Guess what? It's done! It's finally done! Okay, so that took absolutely forever, but that's okay, because now it's done. I'm very happy. So I am pretty happy with the way this came out. For a minute there, it was kind of like, trust the process. But yeah, I really like how this came out. So you can definitely tell where the different sizes ended up, but thankfully, this part will be mostly covered by the next piece of the costume, so you won't have to worry too much about that. And then I left some extra bits on the end, that way it's adjustable. You can make it bigger if you want to make it bigger, smaller if you want to make it smaller. I really like the dark leather cordage against the black of the shirt. This is ridiculously too big for me. So what I'm gonna try to do is when my brother gets up is have him try it on. He's not as broad as my boyfriend is, but he's a lot bigger than I am. So we'll see if he's willing to try this on so that we can get a general idea of what it's gonna look like. But yeah, here's the back. So I couldn't get these to meet entirely, which bugs me just a little bit, but it'll be all right. And then I might have to lint roll it because I got some cat hair on here. But overall, I really like the way this came out. The nice dark black on the top, the lighter kind of washed out blackish gray on the bottom. At first I didn't really like it, but it's kind of grown on me. And then I left the sleeves and the neckline unfinished because it's a barbarian outfit, so I figured it'd have to be like a little rough around the edges, make it look worn and old. Now, not saying that all barbarians from every culture, especially since the connotation of barbarian is different depending on which culture you came from, because to the Romans, the Huns were the barbarians and whatever, even though they had a very rich culture. And then same with the Celts, they were technically a barbarian group, which the Celts also had a very rich culture and different things, but it was very different from the main power at the time. That being said, I'm going for more of your traditional idea of a barbarian, your rougher outfit, the leather, the belts, the different things like that. But I like it. And then this obviously is just one piece, and then once everything comes together, it's gonna look pretty good, I'm hoping. But yeah, I'll get my brother to try this on maybe once he's awake. But other than that, this is another piece of the costume done. Alright, that's it. Bye. Here we go. Okay, I figured it out. Okay, give a little spin. Ta-da! Slow down. Slower spin. No! He's gonna... Hey, careful there.
How you doing? I forgot your name, Mr. Beta.
That's Theodore.
Theodore. Oh. The bird schooler.
Hey! Okay, yeah, that ought to fit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.